Hi, friends, and welcome to Total Body Lab.
You're muted, Katya.
Oh my gosh, was I muted all this time?
Yeah, I know. Just like after like two words, and all of a sudden.
Cool. Once again, my microphone just doesn't like when I touch it. It's a very finicky microphone. Welcome everybody to the Total Body Lab biweekly friends and clients and friends chat. And thank you guys for showing up.
We have some exciting mental health topics today, some bench discussions. I'm not sure if Julie is going to make it here for her deadlift discussions. Her and I were talking a lot about her deadlift setup and cues and all of that. But regardless, we have a lot of news over the past 2 weeks. So let's jump right into it. Into the wins and into the good news. Who wants to start? Caitlin.
Yeah, just because I have a good one. Had my first meet, and that was a lot of fun. Almost got all my lights. I messed up on my last bench, but so close. But it was a good time.
You got 8 out of 9, and you're still upset?
No, because what is it? Yeah, I guess it is 8. No, it's
What was good in your meet? Tell us about the good stuff. I
um
messed up on my bench. I asked about the wins. She
all
goes, I
right.
messed up on my bench.
Um, PR on the deadlift. That was cool. I did good on
What
the
did you pull?
319 point something. I don't remember. And then I was only one out of two people in my division, so I got gold in the division. But I didn't compete in the open, which I'll do that next time.
So did you win your division?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah. The other girl and I, like, we were really close in squat. I think our squat was the same. The bench that I failed at, she got, and then my deadlift was just like way better. So like, at that point, it really, yeah.
Were you surprised by your squat, by your deadlift? Could you have gone heavier? Because I wanted to write you heavier attempts, but I thought you may like freak out and it may get in your head, about which we'll talk later. So
Yeah,
I
I was
didn't.
in my head for the squat. I was very conservative on the squat because I'm always like that with squat. So looking back, like, yeah, I definitely could have gone heavier on the squat. Maybe not a lot heavier, but I could have gone heavier on the bench. It was so weird because I felt so strong on my second bench, but then that's why I added so much for the third. But I completely lost it on third. And then my deadlift, I felt like I could have done more, which surprised me a lot because I thought that was going to feel a lot heavier.
Yeah, I think you have a lot of room on your squat and on your deadlift, so I'm very excited about your next meet.
Yeah, June 10th. Yeah.
David, what's good with you?
Well, I just got back from visiting my son, which was awesome. He's in Tuscaloosa. My flight got canceled. I had to drive home, but that wasn't terrible. So I picked up a bunch of vintage weight plates while I was down there. So I just drove those home, and that was pretty cool. Cleaning a couple of totally sick 100-pound old Yorks, which is awesome. So that was pretty fun. But we got to spend a lot of time together, go bowling and hang out, eat a lot of food, and yeah, so it was really nice.
Sounds fun. Yeah, you and your old vintage plates. If you guys don't know, David has a home gym that is like he has competition plates and he has special like old vintage plates and screw plates and bump plates. You just collect plates. I respect that. Super fun.
Yeah, it's fun. You know, it's like Facebook Marketplace is my friend. And there's a cool gym down there. There's a cool powerlifting gym down there. So I got to try out some machines that I wouldn't have been able to try out that I really liked actually. And then on Sunday, I ended up working at a Planet Fitness, which was its own experience. Like, I don't know why people talk shit about the place. Like, it's like 1,000,000 square feet. It was clean enough to eat off the floor. There was literally like 5 people in the entire place. Okay, there was no free weights, but I mean, there was dumbbells, you know?
Up to
So
55, yeah?
no, there was plenty of dumbbells. There were I was using 60s for bench, and there
Oh,
were much heavier dumbbells than that, because I was like at the middle of the rack. I mean, it kept going. Like I was not
nice.
even, yeah, I was about halfway on the rack. So, but it's just fun to try out the different stuff they have. Some of it's like it's super silly. They had this back extension machine that I thought was going to be awesome because you can load it up with tons of weight, and I thought, oh, this will be great for. And I'm like, it didn't matter how much weight I put on it. I'm like, nope, got to put more, got to put more, got to put more. And I finally just gave up. I'm like, this thing is ridiculous. Like you can't put enough weight on this thing to make it challenging. I'm like, what is this machine for? Like, am I doing it wrong?
For the
Like, what's going on?
ego.
Yeah.
It's
So yeah, I thought it was gonna be
exercising the
super cool.
ego.
But they had a lot of really cool stuff, and I mean, they let me in for free, which was nice too, because they're like they couldn't be bothered to ring me up for like the $5 day fee or whatever it was. So it was all, it was a huge win.
That sounds fun. Yeah, my
Yeah.
Planet Fitness I think has only free weights until like 55 pounds.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one had good dumbbells. I mean, the downside was I was deadlifting that day. Well, actually, I wasn't deadlifting. I was doing like RDLs, but I had to do them in the Smith machine, which was kind of weird. And it had a giant bar in it. It was like a fat bar, it was like an axle bar, and basically smooth. I'm like, and I didn't bring straps. I'm like, this is really hard to hold on to. Like, this is a really good grip workout.
Go to
But
Planet Fitness workout on grip. Okay.
yeah, it was a really good grip workout. But no, I had a good time, so it was fine.
Okay. How is actual lifting going outside of Planet Fitness when you travel?
Actual lifting is going great. Like, because well, actually now I have to start cutting because I just looked at my weight and like I looked at when the nationals is coming. I'm like, I gotta drop a pound a week between now and then to be able to cut to make weight. Like I'm way out. But eating a lot, it's been a game changer. It's just like you just pack on the muscle. It's unbelievable. But it's going to be a little hard for me to make weight, to be honest. But whatever, it's all good. But the lifting is going great. I'm a little tired in my back because I'm just doing so many things. It's like deadlifting and squats and standing rows and so many things that all work on the low back. It's not sore. It's just tired. But other than that, it's going really well.
Nice. Cool. Harsh, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Didn't climb today. Didn't climb yesterday because I got shit for it because I fucked up last week because I climbed too much.
Did you? Tell us about it because nobody knows.
Yeah, I got my forearm sore, and I think like part of the thing that made it kind of bad in retrospect is maybe like I had a little angle while squatting as well. I should have just like had more of that going on. But after squatting and a lot of climbing on the prior days, I was too spent to go on to bench. Like I was like struggling to like take the plates off the squat rack, which just like is not a good place to be at. So yeah, I guess just there's no wins. The wins will hopefully come tomorrow because tomorrow is like the day that I'm going heavy.
No, bullshit. I saw you just sent some videos to
Yeah.
myself and Alexi.
Yeah, I mean, but those are reps. Like they're like fine, okay.
Yeah, those are reps. They're still wins.
I guess.
What did you do? How did it feel? You don't have to PR to feel confident and to feel like you're progressing.
I mean, I think I'm making good progress on like squats, like I'm able to do reps of heavier weights while keeping depth, which was an issue for me, which is something I'm happy about. And honestly, yeah, not much else. Like, I guess other thing in life that happened, I did realize that I didn't make the lottery, so I got to figure out a lot with respect to where I'm going to be and how and when things are going to move, but that's something that needs to be figured. And
That's huge. Is that with your current company?
mhm. So I mean, I got to move. I mean, I got to figure something out. I got to figure a bunch of stuff out.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's happening in life. But really, I'm just excited and ready to go for tomorrow because that's what's fun.
Nice. So some things that Harsh forgot to mention, I think you got lifting shoes and lifting sleeves, and you haven't really used the belt that much. So you start using 3 new pieces of equipment, your squat still looks good, and you're hitting depth better. Something that I'm noticing.
Okay, I've been using lifting shoes for a while and my belt for a while.
Okay.
But the wraps, the deadlift wraps, they are new for me, and that is like a game changer for certain things, in particular, like the negative deadlifts.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if
The
you want
hard.
to call them negative deadlifts, but whatever, like go up slowly and go down slowly. They are, I mean, miserable, but like less miserable with the wraps. Like that makes life easier. Um, but I guess I think, yeah, I don't know. I'm pumped for like the 465 tomorrow. I think I can get it. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure everybody in this room has done tempo something, tempo squats, tempo deadlifts, tempo bench. So we feel your pain, and congrats on winning the lottery.
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I did. I lost it. That's what I said. That's what I got to figure out. Yeah,
You didn't win the lottery?
correct.
Gotcha. Sorry, I thought you said you did.
No, no, no. That would
Well,
be
damn.
nice, but I didn't.
Got it. Okay. Wow, that sucks. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
It's life, I guess. Errol, what's up with you?
Hey everybody. Hopefully everyone had a good fortnight since I've seen you all. But I had some rep PRs in all my lifts. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, that's the one that I spotted you for, yeah?
One of them, yeah. And bench and I'm not deadlifting right now, but accessories for deadlift, all PRs.
Nice. How's your back feeling?
I mean, I kind of ignore it to like continue training. Like I can train like through the pain, but like a day after I deadlift, it's hard to walk, but just doing whatever mobility I set the time aside to do, and we just go from there.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, damn.
So, like, question: when it's like hard to walk, what is it that gets you? Is it like reps or is it like one rep stuff?
It's usually volume.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's still heavy, but anything more than 5 reps, yeah. For main lifts, accessories, not so bad, but yeah, if I'm PRing my squat by a considerable amount and I'm doing like 7 reps in multiple sets, yeah, it's gonna be rough on my body.
Yeah, for different people, that's rough on their body. For different people, singles is rough on their body. It's just, it really depends. But you're still doing your PT, and I know that you are because you said you were doing it right before this call. Nice. All right. I'm going to try to present. I have never presented on StreamYard, so please hold your fingers and everything crossed that this doesn't mess up. Oh boy. Share screen. I don't have 2 monitors. Oh my God. It's asking me so many questions. Yeah, I'm going to freak out right now. How about this? Can you see my stuff? Please say words because I cannot
It's good.
see.
It's working.
Yay! Okay. I think I gotta go present somewhere. Is it view and then present? I don't even know. PowerPoint. I never do PowerPoint. Slideshow.
Hit slideshow.
Oh,
Yeah, there you go.
yay. You can tell I'm not like part of corporate America because I don't know how to do PowerPoint. Anyways, people voted powerlifting and mental health for the topic today. So we're just going to get right into it. And FYI, I cannot see you guys. So if you want to, pause me for a question, just unmute and ask a question because I cannot see your facial expressions, unfortunately. So I'm just going to pretend you're enjoying this or falling asleep. Either way, I can't see you. Anyways, these things you guys probably know, right? Some of these I didn't know. I was diagnosed with ADHD last week. And yeah, at 31 years old, it made a lot of sense to the majority of my friends and close people. But yeah, it was pretty devastating because I could have been doing like better in life if I was diagnosed earlier. Probably, maybe, I'm gonna guess, we don't know, but I'm gonna take a guess that lifting has helped me manage that stuff, manage my depression, which I also have. Because it releases endorphins, it improves mood. I'm always happier after I lift. I can do whatever I need to do easier and better after I lift. I don't know about y'all, but like if I lift in the morning, my day goes better. If I lift in the evening, I sleep better. Whatever comes after lifting is just better. And if I know I have a workout in the evening, I try to just get all my work done so efficiently so that I can just go and enjoy the gym. I'm pretty sure y'all can resonate. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be on this call and you wouldn't be on Total Body Lab team because you really love lifting, it makes your life better, right? The boosting confidence part came way later because first I was just trying to, I guess, lean out and try to fit into society beauty standards. But now, like, I just feel really confident when I can get my lifts in, when I can get whatever was planned for me that day done, right? And my self-image and self-esteem has improved logically from that. Now, you can Google studies for this. Obviously, in this presentation, there's no citations. So this is just kind of like a summary of the things that I've noticed over the years in research. Yeah, y'all know that lifting and powerlifting stimulates brain cells growth and enhances cognitive function, so you can think more clearly. I'm very curious how much it helps with reducing symptoms of ADHD. Recently started being medicated from that, so we'll see how much difference there is, but I'm going to take a huge gander that lifting has helped with that. And I do know some clients and friends who also have it, who have been able to manage it a little bit better while lifting heavy weights. That does not negate the need for medication if that has been prescribed to a person. Cool. Now we're getting into some more specifics. So you may get into your head while lifting super heavy or touching the weight that you haven't touched before, right? Like your palms get sweaty, you're kind of like breathing faster, your heart is beating faster. I definitely get that way when I lift heavier. And there are things to help if you are like kind of low on sleep, low on motivation, low on confidence. There are things that distract you if you're like feeling good and you want to kind of like stimulate the environment of being at a meet where everything goes wrong and you want to throw yourself off even more while training. So for example, like you can have people walk in front of you, you can have people put on the worst music that you absolutely hate, or if you cannot focus, right, if you need more help, you can put on headphones, you can ask people to not walk in front of you, you can say, hey, like I'm going to my 1 rep max, I'm going for my PR double, triple, whatever you're doing, So you're just left alone. And if people screaming at you and yelling and cheering, saying, yeah, up, helps, that's great. If that doesn't help and you just want to be left alone, tell people that. So anyways, that's what I learned from one of my coaches is like, it doesn't always help to have like a sterile lifting environment. Sometimes it helps to also kind of simulate the environment where you're at a meet and it's just like super chaotic. So I enjoy doing that at my gym sometimes. I don't put on headphones if people are playing music that is like, ugh, like, yeah. Or like I failed my potential squat PR a couple of weeks ago when somebody walked in front of me. And whose fault was that? Mine. But guess what? That can also happen at a meet. Somebody can walk and I can focus on them. So anyways, some more basics are on the screen, right? Obviously, you're more confident if you're with a spotter that you trust, or side spots, or monolift if you have an access to a monolift, or know how to fail safely onto the safeties if you don't have any of those things available. Usually it's safer to stay with the barbell, right? Regardless whether you squat, bench, or dead. If you have your safeties set up properly, you can just lower the barbell onto the safeties, right? And then breathing techniques, I mean, we've probably talked about that with each individual one of y'all, that you take a big breath and pause it and hold your breath and hold your muscles tight until you're kind of like almost all the way up, and then you exhale. Some people, which is more advanced technique, some people train breathing throughout heavy reps. So as you go down and as you go up, they will keep breathing. I wouldn't do that with super heavy weights. I would do that maybe with lighter reps. And again, this is like an advanced technique, is if you're perfectly fine on, taking a big breath and holding everything in your chest and going down and up and exhaling at the top, that's fine. You can practice some other breathing techniques that you can look up that might help you if like your breathing gets chaotic, if your pulse goes up, if something random happens that you don't expect at a meet, right? And then cardio, the reason why I put in cardio here is because you don't know how fast your attempts are going to go at a meet. It's likely that you're going to have 13, 14 lifters, and then one gets added and you get split into a group of 8 and 7. Things are going to go faster. You don't know how fast they're going to load and spot. You don't know so many things. So having some cardio and maybe taking a little bit less time between heavy attempts every once in a while, if you really suck at it, really helps. And it really helps you not worry, like, oh, whether you're going to get it or not get it if you have less time. Like, what if you have 7 or 5 minutes before in between your attempts? That helps not to worry about it, regardless if it's, an opener or a second and third attempt, right? This is probably just from my experience, and let me know if this resonates with you. I haven't felt as empowered as doing anything else in my life other than lifting. So that has probably helped my mental health and confidence more than anything else, right? And it helped me stay patient. I'm a very impatient person, but I'm patient when I teach lifting, and I'm patient when I actually am with the barbell. And I have overtrained before. I have been impatient. I learned my lesson. Hopefully you won't. Hopefully you will never learn it. You will only remember it from this deck, right? If you're impatient, like, time yourself for warm-up. If you're too slow and you take too much time between attempts, time your rest. Those are like the easiest, I guess, actionable steps that I have based on lifters that I've seen, right? Some of us that are slow tend to take more time talking to people. Some of us that are fast just tend to, get it done with and get out of the gym, right? Are y'all asleep yet? I'm going to check on everybody.
We're good.
We're good.
Good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're almost done. Okay. Oh, I cannot get into my presentation. There it is. From current slide. Yay. I talk about powerlifting a lot because, like, I feel like it resonates with the majority of y'all, right? We're all powerlifters. Hopefully for people who just lift weights, they can also resonate. But you guys can drop the questions either in the comments to the video or in the chat. Okay. Powerlifting is just an accentuated version of lifting weights in the gym, be it box gym, regular gym, private gym, home gym, doesn't matter. When you register for a meet, you may feel like, oh my God, like I have a thing, I have a date, like I can't cancel it. Like I gotta show up, I gotta perform, like I gotta be there. So you're married to that date. You're married to like having to bring your best. It's kind of a little unnerving, but it's also awesome. So you will get tired, you will get exhausted mentally and physically, and it is basically about how well you manage kind of your up and downs and stress and fatigue throughout the whole prep up until the meet day. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes, but the first and second time are more kind of yeah, I guess more unnerving, and they throw you off more. So during the meet day and throughout the whole prep, you gotta save energy. You gotta know not to like go on 10-mile hikes every day and do all of the chores and continue doing all of the things and work and leisurely activities the way you used to before. If that interferes with your lifting, I'm not saying like completely change your life, but do consider that this is a commitment that requires some more focus. If other activities can distract, and I know some of y'all have asked me about like climbing and boxing and running and biking and other cardio, it's fine. Just remember you have a limited amount of energy, right? And that gets spread over everything. And it's the same during meet day. During meet day, you have a limited amount of energy. If you spend it all on squats, well, you're shit out of luck for bench and for deadlift, right? It also really helps to switch from doing one thing to the other quickly at a meet, because you could be just sitting and resting and then, oh, your flight is done. Or, I mean, the previous flight is done. Your flight is up. So you got to go. So just in your head, switching between now I rest, now platform, and I got to perform, now I select my temps, now I rest again. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but there is a certain mindset that helps navigate through that huge fluctuation between I do nothing, now I perform at 100%, right? I hope that makes sense. Some things that help me turn on my adrenaline and help my athletes turn on my adrenaline before stepping on the platform, when you really gotta perform, are, you probably see me do this in videos, face slaps, back slaps. A lot of people like, I don't. I like face slaps. Some people get on and they scream. Some people bow at the judges. Some people just be calm and like take a deep breath, and it seems like they cannot be bothered with anything else. Nose work, I've never really liked. It's like ammonia that you inhale. It kind of throws me off, so I use super expired ammonia recently, but I feel like it's the same as pre-workout, right? So if you really need it, you can use it. There is certain element of adaptation to all of those things. So if you do them every time, they're gonna stimulate less adrenaline. So use them sparingly and save them for like the heaviest stuff, right? Cool. This slide I got based off of my conversation with Errol. So hopefully he can chime in. He always tells me the comparison's a thief of joy, and I agree. But sometimes I just cannot help compare myself with my past self, which is what you see on the screen, even though this is bodybuilding and it's like an unrealistic stage physique. A lot of my clients compare themselves with other people. So, Errol, maybe you can chime in and tell us a couple of things about this.
Yeah, that's a tough one, because sometimes that's what motivates people, but there are different places you can get motivation from, and for certain people It might be healthier than others. My opinion is mine. I don't mean to offend anybody or whatever, but in my experience and what I've seen with certain people, it's like they compare themselves with other people who are lifting on social media, and you don't know how long they've been lifting, if they're on gear or not, and if you're natural or if they have help from like good coaches, bad coaches, or what's driving them, what's their motivation. Maybe they have like a life goal of being, stronger than their father, right? Like, whereas you're kind of doing this for fun, but you maybe still compare yourself, which kind of sucks the fun out of it, right? So I would say just focus on yourself, spend the energy that you might be spending comparing yourself, just to help you stay focused. And I would say to just try to be better than you were like previously, but we know progress isn't linear. So I would say like just go back through like old videos specifically for powerlifting. I can't really speak on bodybuilding, but go back on your old videos and see how much stronger you've gotten, right? But yeah, I think you'll probably be happier if you focus on yourself. It's probably better for your self-esteem, and that'll make you more excited to lift and keep doing this. For those of us who compete, I would say that, it's sure, like you're comparing yourself to somebody on meet day, or you're checking out your competition like before the meet, or you have a benchmark to hit for regionals, nationals, or whatever meet. I would say, keep it fun. Like, this isn't life or death. Most of us like aren't doing this like for a living. So try to enjoy it, right? Conversely, like you can have your, idols, but everyone has different journeys and different capacities. So, just enjoy the process, I would say.
I love it. Enjoy the process. Yeah. I need to also remind myself not to compare myself when I was in a different sport. So when I used to run more or when I used to bodybuild, like the goals are different. I can't have it all. It's really tempting, but you usually can't have it all. All right. I think that's it.
I heard a really good quote about comparison that I thought
Yeah.
was really helpful. I don't know, I might be the only person old enough to remember who Cindy Crawford is, but she was a supermodel like back in the 80s and 90s.
Yeah.
And she had a quote that she said, like, I wish I looked like Cindy Crawford, because she doesn't look like that. Like all those magazine shoots and all the swimsuits, like, yeah, I mean, that's her. And she does look like that. When the lighting's perfect, the makeup's perfect, when she's dehydrated, when she's done everything perfect, and they take 4,000 pictures and they pick the best one, it's her, right? But she doesn't look like that on a daily basis. And so she said, yeah, I get it. Like, I wish I looked like Cindy Crawford. So, like, there's no reason to compare, because even that person doesn't look like that most of the time.
Yeah, it sucks, but it's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate.
Yeah.
Mm. Cool. Do you guys have anything to add on the mental health stuff, benefits and challenges, and anything else?
I mean, there are studies that say it's very helpful for depression. I mean, exercise is actually moving into like going to be first line treatment rather than meds, as it's that helpful. So, I mean, obviously, if you're really profoundly depressed, you may have a hard time getting to the gym. So that's another story, but, it can help. And so that's really good. And then as far as like the meat, I don't really understand personally the anxiety that people get. So people seem to really freak out. I'm like, what do you think is going to happen to you? Like, they're not going to like put you under you put you on the bench and put the weight on you and then just like go have a smoke while you sit there and die. Like nothing, like there's literally nothing bad that can happen. You could tweak something. Okay, fine. I mean, I get that, but you can do that at the gym. There's literally nothing bad that can happen to you. So like, I don't understand why people get anxious about it. But
I think it's the combination of like the pressure to perform your best for yourself and everybody who knows that you're there, who you know, stage fright, and just touching the weights that you have never touched before.
Yeah, fair enough. Some people do get stage fright, and I could see that. If that's one of your things, then yeah, I could see that would be troublesome.
Yeah.
I mean, you're never going to get better spotting than you're going to get at a meet. That's for damn sure.
So I just want to say that from the mental health standpoint, like body image is definitely better. You know, it's not so much anymore about what I look like. It's about, well, what can I lift? You know, and that's always getting better. So it feels like, you know, I'm not failing. I'm constantly getting better. So that feels great. And then also like with this last meet, like I didn't get the stage fright or anything like that. I think my nerves were just about it being new, but it really opened my eyes to just how much of a mental game it really is. Like you can't. I remember that first deadlift seminar I did. I asked like, "What's on the bar?" And I forget he said it. They're like, "Don't worry about it. Like, just lift it. Like, if you think about the number, it's gonna psych you out." And I was like, "Oh, okay." I like that. I like that idea. It's true.
Yeah, I wish I could just do that for you on the meet. Like if I was there for you at the meet, I could put in the attempt and you would have no idea what's on the bar. You would just go and lift it because that's what you got to do.
Yeah. So yeah, mentally, I definitely get all of it.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I really miss when I used to lift with my coach before COVID and they would just put stuff on the bar and I wouldn't know the number. And even I'm a kilo gal. We had pound plates. I couldn't count for shit. I'd be like, some pound amount. I don't know how much that is. I would just go squat it. Yeah. With bench, it was easier because I'd be like, oh, there's like one plate and something. But like squat or deadlifts.
I think that helps with the meet too, because it's like I'm putting in kilograms, and like I did the conversion earlier, but that by that point I forget. So
Right.
I'm just like, it's 75 kilograms, less than the pound, so I don't know, whatever. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Nice. Awesome. Well, I feel like we can jump into our Q&A. I know Caitlin has some questions. Errol has a question. Errol, go for it.
Yeah, Harsh, what's going through your head when you compete? You've done a deadlift competition. What's going on up there?
Yeah, small sample size. I guess in general, you know, I come in with a target, and that's it. I just want to hit the target. Like, don't care about competition. It's too late to like change to like bother competing with competition. I'm just like there for my target. And like I think like when I was there with you, it was a weird competition. It was like 30-pound increments. And you know, I did a 425 and I did 2 fails on 455. And really my goal was like I knew I could hit 425. So it didn't like care for a safety of the 395 would be like before 425. Didn't really care about that. I just like, okay, just get one thing on the board, 425, and put everything I can on 455. I did that, failed. But like, yeah, I guess when I'm going in, I'm just like, I want to hit those numbers, and yeah, I don't know, I'll just give it everything I got. Like, it's not so much about like what's going on around me. I'm not gonna change my strength level at the time of the meet. It's already too late. But yeah.
Yep.
If I fail, I get like pissed off. But then the shitty thing is there's like another attempt that I have to like, fuck, gotta regroup. Gotta regroup now. But yeah, I don't know. I just got to work on that, I guess.
Errol, what's
Cool,
going
thanks.
through your head when you're at the meet?
I'm kind of similar to Harsh. Your strength has been determined over the previous several blocks, right? When I'm about to lift, if you guys are familiar with Eddie Hall, he's done like 1,000-pound deadlifts and stuff like that. He goes to like a very dark place, or like he tries to like invoke his own like rage, and that kind of, maybe it's a little childish, but it helps me because I don't even hear music. there is nobody else beyond the judges. I just see the barbell. Like I see red and the barbell. But yeah, like my last meet, I wanted to win my division, but also like in the same way, like you want to pick the most weight you can successfully hit, right? So it's like, give or take 20 pounds on a deadlift. But outside of that, yeah, I'm super zoned in. I could care less what else is going on. Yeah, I try to I think replace any type of anxiety with excitement and curiosity.
That sounds healthy.
Yeah, because the alternative is getting nervous and missing commands and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. Yeah.
it's not.
I got too excited at my last meet. There was a song that I sang at my birthday party, and I got so excited. It was Hailstorm, and it was my last bench attempt, and I did not pause. I just go boom, boom, and halfway up, I was like, "Oh shit, I forgot to pause," and then I paused, but then they just took it up for me because like it was, it was not worth it. So it's good to get excited, but in my case, not too excited. Caitlin, I know you had bench questions.
Just like in form in general, because I'm still like the whole concept of pushing from the feet up through, like I'm not quite getting it. Like I try to, and then I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well, you're a short person, so requesting blocks for you could be a good idea. I used to use heeled shoes for bench. I've really relearned to use flats for bench. My legs are kind of long. So I guess it works for me. Yeah, you could try blocks for sure because you are short. So if that gives you more leg drive, just to feel stable in your arch or in your bridge, that would make sense. You have okay leg drive as far as I can remember. Like you actually use your legs to help push the weight up and not let it crush you too much when it goes down, if that makes sense. So yeah, what do you not understand about like leg drive?
I guess I don't necessarily know if I'm like maybe I am using my legs and I don't realize it. Like with the squat, I'm thinking about what my body's doing like the whole time almost it feels like because I want to make sure I don't miss a cue or whatever. But with the bench, it's just kind of like I'm not necessarily thinking about it. I don't know. Like what should it feel like when I'm driving with my legs? Because I know like some people like push up and their butt comes up and that's not good. But like I don't know. I don't even know how to phrase the question because I just don't know like how I'm supposed to be pushing with my legs.
Yeah, I like to basically only use my legs for like the bottom connection with the ground, and my butt just touches the bench. So I don't have too much weight from my butt into the bench. It's mainly the legs, and then I'm screwing my feet into the ground like that and trying to rip the floor apart with my feet away.
Okay. And like, is it so you push, but you are like when you go to push the bar up, you are pushing with your legs too, right? And you just like keep everything tight beneath that, or
Yeah. If I'm not using leg drive, my back has like no basement, no foundation. So everything that goes into my back from the bar, right when I arch, I feel like I'm just gonna collapse. Like I have nothing to arch up with and
okay.
really keep stable because the legs is what keeps us stable. What do you guys say? Do you have any other tips?
One thing that helps me, I think, with leg drive, I imagine that I'm doing a leg extension, like, for quads. When I'm setting up, I'm just digging my shoulder blades into the pad as hard as I can. creating as much tension through my erectors, my ass cheeks, all the way down to my heels. I try to tuck my heels a little bit more because, like, if this is like my body, right? Like, if this is my shoulders, like, I want like connection with my ass cheeks, like here, and everything in my back is like super, super tight. So I'm tired by the time I get any kind of like start command. But yeah, like that's continued through the feet. Yeah, like my legs are shot by the time I'm done. I don't know if that's overdoing it, but it works for me.
Thank you.
It's very hard to generate maximum power in only one part of your body. I mean, like, try to grip something as hard as you can and like keep your other hand totally relaxed. That's pretty hard to do. Or to keep your face relaxed while you push as hard as you can with an arm. Like, so if your legs are relaxed, then you're not totally turned on. It can be done, but it's really, really, really hard. I mean, there's martial arts where you learn to relax everything but the striking limb, and that's really deceptive because people don't expect it. If your face is relaxed when you go to punch someone, people don't see the punch coming because it's so unnatural to do that. So, if you don't have tension everywhere, it's hard to get maximum tension anywhere.
Yeah, like I noticed at home I get a better arch, and then at the competition I couldn't really get an arch in my back, which I think is why I couldn't like use my legs because I couldn't even like get a good grip on the ground. So yeah, I think
Is your bench a different height at home than the regulation bench?
I didn't measure it. I didn't think it was, but I think their bench might be wider, which is where like
That'll make a difference.
yeah, which is like now I can't put my legs back as far. I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah. So they asked me if I wanted blocks, and I'm like, I didn't train that way. Let me not switch it up now. But I think that would help.
That was a good call not to switch it up then.
Yeah.
There's a small chance you could have succeeded with that, but there probably not. Probably if you switch things up at the highest, percent max, it's just not a good idea. It's not going to work. Or you
Same
get in your head.
liftoff. They were like talking about liftoff. I'm like, I don't even know what that is, and they explained it, and everyone else was getting it. I'm like, do you want it? I'm like, I didn't train that way. Like, it's probably a good idea, but I don't want to get in my head now worrying about that. And then, so I just like nothing new.
Right. Lift off. I wish we talked about it because I almost expected you were going to get one. I almost like thought Danny was giving you one, but he wasn't. So yeah, lift off was just when somebody kind of helps you lift the barbell a little bit up and bring it out to position where you want it to start the movement. Because you don't want to do a bunch of this. You don't want to do a bunch of like fulcrum on the shoulder before you start bench. You gotta unlock here, which is like not where you want to bench. You want to bench lower, right? So that's a lot harder on your shoulder and your front delts. You get unnecessarily tired everywhere, and your tendons, ligaments, muscles in a position that's compromised. And then you start benching, right? So like if I don't have a lift off, I know my bench is going to suck. So I'm going to get a lift off when I'm like above 85, 90% max on bench all the time. Oh my God. Yeah. I want to only lift. I want to only bench. I don't want to get the bar off the rack and bring it out. So do you guys do the same?
Yeah, I get a lift off because it's like, why would I spend the energy on racking? And then, it's if the bar is set wrong, I tweak my shoulder or something like that. It's not worth it.
Exactly.
Like I'd say even lower than 80%. Like I'm like 65%. I'm asking people for handoffs in a gym.
Yeah. I will caution you, Caitlin, in the competition, some people can give you lift off and it's shitty.
Yeah.
But it's good to do that on the first attempt, and hopefully you'll get the same volunteer to hand the bar off to you at the second and third attempt. So if they take you up so much, they're doing a freaking biceps curl, and then like, here's the bar. If they take you off the bridge with that, you can be like, hey, can you please give me a smaller lift up into the air? Just like a really light touch. Just with your fingers, just a little bit up and out. Like, don't struggle too much. That could work, right? You could talk to them before, a lot of people do, most lifters do. You're a girl with like not too much in the barbell, so it is more likely that they're just gonna be like, "Hurrah!" because they're used to do more weight. They should be conscious of your height and the length of your arms, but you know, if they aren't, it's good to figure that out. First attempt and second attempt, you'd be like, "Hey, do this instead, please." And of course, if they allow your own handler to do that for you, best thing ever.
Yeah, they were letting people do it, but I was like, I didn't want to ask Danny, like we had not practiced it. So next time.
Yeah. Cool. Other lifting things, deadlifts, squats, accessories, things that you guys have questions on.
Sure, I got one. How about low bar squat? What are some general tips for, I'm assuming some of you guys are low bar squatters.
Harsh, I think, is. David is not. Caitlin, where do you put your bar?
I don't think it's super low, but it's not like on my neck. You know, I don't know. It's not like on that bone.
Yeah, I think you're low bar.
Okay.
Well, it depends on your shoulder mobility. I feel like high bar squat just freaking folds me. I really hate it. It feels like learning to do squats all over again to me. But that's probably how low bar feels to you because you're a high bar squatter. So be patient with it. Don't go too ham with the weight since it's a new anatomy, trains connection all the way down into the ground. Yeah, I would probably just watch out for like the very, very basic things that you would watch out when you like bring your new friend who's never lifted into the gym because you think you know them and you do know them, but your body may not with the new bar position. So it's depth, tucked elbows, chest up, um, knees out, feet pressure, mid foot. Like this is super basic, but when you change the bar position, or you change your grip, or you change something seemingly small, like it could throw everything else off, and it's like, ugh.
Yeah, I mean, I think outside of like setup, one of the things that I've been trying to dial in is my bar path. So the way I stand when I'm high bar squatting, like I stand straight up and down because the weight is already over midfoot, and I sit down without really like any type of hip flexion or like tilting forward rather. But with low bar, sort of getting a little bit folded, and I don't like that. But I'm gonna try like the pre-tilt if you're familiar with that move.
What do you do pre-tilt?
So like if you wait to get like your start come in, and then you can like tilt forward a little bit before you actually squat to get the weight over like your midfoot.
I frown upon that movement.
I
But
feel like I do that, but I don't know. Like I always start. I mean, it's like a little bit low on my back, so I'm always bent forward. Like it's a, what is it like? Really shit. Good morning, but like slightly up forward, and then I like fold more and more forward as I go down. And on a high bar squat, I'm just like it's kind of like a front squat. My back is like pretty straight. But yeah, like I bend forward quite a bit, and I don't know. That's just what I do. Maybe it's not ideal, but it helps me. It helps me get depth. Like if I don't bend forward, then it just feels awkward to go deep, which I like don't have when I'm doing high bar squat. When it's a high bar squat, I'm fine keeping my back straight and just going down. I can't squat nearly as much, but like for the low bar squat, I just bend forward quite a bit.
I mean, the amount that you bend forward, obviously you want to keep the bar path as straight as possible over your midfoot. I mean, like you're going to fall over if you don't, right? So, but a lot of it is your body proportions. I mean, if you've got long femurs, you're going to have to bend forward because like what else, you have to, you can't. And I figured this out when I was, and I don't know if I have long femurs or not, but I know when I was lifting light, I was like constantly thinking, okay, keep sitting up straight, keep it straight. I'm like, shit doesn't work. And then when I got really as heavy as I could lift, it's like suddenly your body, you can't think anymore. Your body will naturally put it where it has to be because you can't fight it anymore. And I got to bend forward a little bit more. And then it's a lot easier and I can lift more weight. So, you have to lift, you got to lift for your own body, whatever that is, whatever your ankles do, whatever your, however long your torso is and however long your femur is and this and that and that. And some people are going to be super upright and some people are going to look like they're doing a good morning.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm going through too. Like I don't have exceptionally long legs, but I have a short torso. And I squat pretty wide. So my squat already looks pretty fucking weird. But it works. But yeah, low bar is a little bit different. So I'm just trying a couple different variables to see what is the most energy efficient. It's not like a main lift for me right now, but in theory, most lifters, lift a little bit more when they have a good low bar squat compared to high bar.
Most people with good shoulder flexibility, mobility, and good ankle mobility, and you seem okay on hips and super wide squat, like almost sumo squat, but somehow you deadlift conventional. So interesting variables. I don't like tilting before squatting, regardless high bar, low bar. I think it's a little inefficient. Unless you have like back injuries or something else. But yeah, depends on the person. Yeah. Cool. Willing to ask questions because it is time to wrap it up.
Maybe a question that I don't know. Basically, question is, how do you develop patience to deadlift heavy at the bottom? By that I mean like when I like deadlift I'm sumo deadlifting, which is like different from conventional. When I come up like so slowly, and when I can go in with like the attitude that I'm not going to quit fighting, but like also there's times that I just like I don't know how to keep fighting more. Like it's just not gonna come up. Like how do you like train to like fight at the bottom, I guess?
I think that's a David question.
I mean, part of it is like, if you're lifting as much as you can lift, it better be moving really slow, right? Like I was, I was watching, a person I work with went to a meet and was watching a friend lift and her max attempt just flew off the ground. It was like, good for her, but that's kind of sad because like she left pounds, So like one is that if it's not moving really, really slow, you haven't hit your max yet, right? So embrace the fact that it's slow. Like that's awesome. But one tip I heard someone say was to count 5 Mississippi, and if you haven't gotten to 5, you haven't ramped up. Like you can't just turn on your full force right away, right? Like you got to give it time to ramp up.
I don't have the mental bandwidth to count when I'm trying to pick that up.
Well, then just keep pulling. I mean, eventually you're going to pass out or you're going to fall over or you're going to drop the bar. Don't worry about it. Like just keep pulling. Like you can't pull forever. Like it will stop. Like you can't just like, you don't have to worry about it. Like you will give up. if it's too heavy. Just don't let your brain be the thing that gives up. Let your body give up. That's what I would do. But Katya can tell you, like, I'm maybe not the best role model for being smart about shit sometimes. Like, that might not be smart, but like, I figure, like, if you do a max set of bench, like, it's at some point it just ends up on your chest, right? Like, you can't put it up anymore. Like, your body it'll be okay. Like, what's the worst thing that happens? You lift it? Like, that's what I would do. Just keep trying. Now, if it's different if you're competing, right? And you're like, oh, I got to save some for the next attempt. Maybe that's different. But if you're just trying a 1 rep max, I don't know. I would just say, just try. I don't know what other people think.
I know what you're asking, Harsh. So Harsh pulls sumo, which is different from David. You pull conventional. So yeah, speed matters in conventional. Speed off the ground definitely helps you, David. Does not really help Harsh. So patience helps Harsh, and Harsh doesn't have a lot of that. So I would say keep being patient off the ground, because I struggle with being impatient off the ground, and it destroys my lockout. So keep pulling until you're sick of it is a good advice, because your back is in good position, your hips are in good position. You can be a little more aggressive on the lift off and wedging the bar a little bit better, but I wouldn't change.
What does wedging the bar mean?
Yeah, pushing your hips forward into the bar, spreading your knees and pushing your hips forward. You can Google it, and there's going to be a bunch of people just like getting their hips super close to the bar, almost like ballerina style. Hey, shut up, guys! Shush. I don't know if you can hear my dogs. But yeah. I know. We have people. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, that could help. I would not change too much about your deadlift, Harsh. I really wouldn't.
I'll be lifting tomorrow if anyone wants to come over tomorrow afternoon. Gym will be open.
Thank you.
And you don't need chalk because there's pollen on everything. So, yeah.
Cool. Thanks for the invitation. Oh my God. Shush. Hera, shush. She's excited. Thank you for the invite. I usually invite people on Sundays to your gym. So we'll see who can make it.
Yeah, I'm on call on Sunday, so people are welcome to come over. I may or may not be there. It depends if I get called or not.
Okay, cool. Well, I feel like it's time to wrap it up. This was a super fun discussion. Let me know later in the Total Body Lab chat what you think about the presentation stuff. I try to prepare. I feel like it's better rather than people asking me like random things about their program, because I cannot remember everything about everybody's program. And last time I was like, oh, you're welcome to do this. And I was kind of like I put myself on the spot. This was not good. So I hope this is a little bit of a better flow. But yeah, let me know what you think about this later. And let me remove people from the stream. Bye, Caitlin. Bye, David. Bye, Errol. And bye, Harsh. Thank you guys for joining the Total Body Lab clients and friends bi-weekly chat. You can access the recording on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And we are live every second and fourth Thursday of the month. So you're welcome to ask questions in the live chat on any of those social media platforms, or before in any of the social medias where you can reach me, so I can prepare to answer your question better. And I will talk to you later. Have a good day.